it's the same religion. It's the crypto, Tesla, Apple, Arc Innovation. It's the sort of real growth without limits religion that I've seen so many times in the markets, where, and really the only argument against that is Amazon. That's really the only case where the religion proved to be right. And the only reason for that, by the way, which is really, really interesting, because I read the long thread of the guy who actually was, in the heart of Amazon when all this was happening, is, so why is Amazon so valuable? It's not because, it sells everybody goods, because it's essentially selling everybody goods for no money. The Amazon retail business makes no money. It's because of AWS, right? It's because of the computers. But this is how I always love how everything in life is almost always an accident. It's never a plan. So what was happening is when they were in the midst of the 2000 fallout and they were dying and the stock declined 95%, they had a whole bunch of Sun servers on their books, which were extraordinarily expensive. Remember Sun Microsystems, another great stock that I used to trade when I was, like we're all old enough to remember. That was, the classic. Now it's, you could use it for a garbage can and it would get more value. But they all had the Sun Microsystems in their data warehouse, which were extraordinarily expensive. Their only way to survive was to rip out all these Sun servers and put in Linux. And they put in all the Linux, and they were like shocked that Linux was so strong that it was able to manage their whole business. And they were like, oh, hey, now we can offer that service to everybody else because Linux is free. So the irony of the whole thing is that Jeff Bezos needs to write his whole fortune check, his whole $170 billion check to Linus Torvalds, who got zero for the fact that the whole value of Amazon is built on Linux, which was free. And that's like the story of that I wrote. I just thought that was a really interesting backstory.
If you'll indulge me for 1 second, I have an absolutely true Amazon story. My wife, she was a grad student at University of Washington. This would have been back in the late 90s. I wasn't married to her at this time. And she was walking around campus and saw a flyer. It said, come meet Jeff Bezos from Amazon. He's doing an investor pitch. I mean, this was when Jeff Bezos was basically nothing at that point.
Right.
And she went to it. My wife's really a good, big thinker kind of person. And she was like, I want to invest. She was going to put like $2 or $3 grand into it. She went home. Her husband at the time, who was actually in the finance industry, was like, oh, that's a bunch of rubbish. And she's like, oh, okay, I won't do it. This is before it went public, years before it went public.
Wow.
She's when it comes up, she's a one bitter lady, even though she's a sweetheart. She's just like,